Hey guys, and welcome back to Ben's Painting Desk. In today's episode, we're going to be exploring the game Flames of Orion. This is created by Stephen Hupfer, hope I said that right. He's part of the Hive Scum group, I believe, and it's kind of it's a mech-based combat skirmishy style game. My friend Gaz at my local game store asked me if I wanted to play it. He also printed me off this awesome booklet of the rules, so I thought, why not? I haven't really made much sci-fi stuff on the channel, if any yet, so it seemed like a really good excuse to dive in, and yeah, that's what we're going to do in this episode, so let's get started. So I just want to start by saying how nice it is to have a physical copy of a rule book, especially for a small game like this, where oftentimes I'm reading off the computer. I really got to appreciate all the great art in the book, and it was nice to be able to take my time reading through it, sat on the sofa or something, rather than just off the screen on my laptop. It's a great looking book and it reads really well as well, so hats off to Stephen and the guys who worked on that. For the miniatures, I started off with a kit from EM4 Miniatures, I believe. I'll link it down below. It was £5 for this sprue of 5 mechs, absolute bargain. I'll link it below, highly recommend, they're really great models. And I also ordered off some little bits off a Bits box, I'll also link below. They're also great, so I was able to get everything super cheap, which is great, so I just wanted to dip my toe into this game system without too much of a commitment. Alright, so let's talk about the kitbashing. So my idea with these guys, as you can probably tell, was to kind of have these masked robots, kind of from like a ancient civilization guardian kind of statue things that become reanimated and back alive again. So I got these Harlequin masks off a Bits box, and luckily they're the perfect size. But I kind of figured because the mechs were going to be like 32, 28mm scale models, if that makes sense. And yeah, I just had loads of other kind of bits lying around. This is some Age of Sigmar stuff, I believe, on this guy. Had some old Terminators and Space Marine bits. And yeah, I was just kind of going through the Bits box, sticking some bits on, gluing on, trying different bits, and yeah, it was super fun. I haven't really done anything this scale or much sci-fi stuff before, so I used quite a few fantasy bits as well. But I was really happy with how they come together. I think just putting the face on them made them all look pretty cool. The third one you're seeing here, I think, was my favourite one. The good thing with the EM4 minis is they didn't come with instructions, or if they did, I didn't read them, so I kind of had a little bit of freedom to build them differently. I mean, most of them I followed, but you had different weapons and options like that. And for this one, as you see, I think I built this in a slightly different pose than what they had in their models. And this one was my favourite. I mean, this model looks so cool in particular. And it was just a lot of trial and error of trying different hands and guns and poses and stuff. But yeah, it was super fun. A couple of like scale issues there, I guess, with like the Terminator hands, but I wasn't really too bothered by the scale. I wanted stuff to look cool. The banner for this last guy here actually came from the old Resin Striking Scorpions kit. And I've had like these bits since I was like, 10 or 11, and they've just been sat in a box. So it's great to be able to finally use them. And it fit perfectly once I chopped off this little back brace bit. And then the final guy, and for the final guy, I kind of went to create more of a melee themed guy. And the poses are quite monopose, I guess. It's a cheap kit, so that's completely fair enough. But for this one, I just snipped his leg off a bit, posed it backwards in a bit more of a running formation, and gave him this big hammer as he's kind of running in to battle with it's a bit comical, this huge hammer. Probably not really into scale would fit, but it looks a bit goony, it's fun. And yeah, I really like this guy. Once the kit bashing was done, I just grabbed some Milliput and kind of smoothed out some of the edges, kind of gave him all these kind of weird goony shoulder pads sort of things, put some dirt and grime on them, put some little beads in them, and just added some extra little details and stuff like that, like the cables on the back of this guy here. And yeah, I was super happy with them. It didn't take too long to kit bash them together, and yeah, just very happy. So So since I've discovered the world of 28 games, I've just had such scatterbrain because there's so many cool different systems out there that I just like jump ideas from one to the other and never actually get started. And I'm such a sucker for just taking way too long on a project. Like the last Turnip video, the character I built took like 12 hours for one character in an army, which wasn't the plan, but that was going to be a game I was getting into to have a quick and easy game. But I know I'm like, I just get carried away with things. And so for this video and for this army, or these 5 models, I'm going to be quick. I want to do it on a budget to actually make it realistic that I can start playing these games and just hopefully see what result I can get without spending crazy amounts of time, but hopefully still getting something we're happy with, but so I can actually start playing these games and seeing what they're like, because that's the important thing. And I often spend so much time modeling, I forget to do the playing bit as well. But yeah, let's see what we can do. All right then, onto the painting. So I wanted to keep the painting just super simple. I wanted to do it quickly, like I just said, to actually get these models on the table. So I just picked a basic triad like I do with a lot of my painting. Had a shadow, a mid-tone and a highlight. I actually used ivory as the highlight, not white. I got the wrong paints out there when I filmed it, and I think I correct myself later on. But yeah, just dollops off a bit of each of these out on the palette, and then yeah, got to go. It just got a super big brush, treating it very, very rough, and kind of just started sponging in the highlights, I believe first I started with, just like ivory all over the top, and then came back in with the shadow color, the dark brown in all the recesses, and then the mid-tone, that XVATA into the mid-tone, just kind of sloppily blending stuff together, just trying to get those values blocked in before we move on to the oil paints. Oh yeah, and I also just did the metals in silver. Onto the oils, so just classic really with the oils. I mixed up a dark brown black wash and just bathed all of them in that, and then dabbed off the excess with a paper towel. I then had a kind of orangey brown. I then came in with my white oil paint, and this is inspired by Mechs, Totally Not Panicking on Instagram, some of his videos, where he kind of highlights with a white paint and then blends the browns and stuff like that back into it. It just looks really cool. It takes a little practice. I'm still kind of trying to figure it out, but it's quite a quick way to get some smooth transitions, but also quite high contrast. So yeah, still trying to figure it out, but I'm enjoying that technique for now. Their faces, I just painted white and then did a dark green wash over them. And then I also came back in on some of the other models later on. That's why I swap over, because this guy was drying. And did some like yellow, a bit of a yellow wash just to add a little bit more colour in there as well. And then used Dirty Down Rust, just slopping it on the metals to get some like orangey tones in there as well. And yeah, I was super happy with these guys. I painted 4 of them the night before in about 2 hours, and then painted the one for this tutorial, which took me about an hour with filming things and stopping like that. And yeah, I achieved what I set out to do. I got them done quickly. This wasn't the original idea that I had. I wanted actually to put like moss on them to make them a bit more like they've been like in an undergrowth for ages and things like that. And I guess I could have done that here, but they turned out a slightly different colour. I ended up putting these like purple alien bases, and I thought that would contrast quite nicely, and did some details in purple as well. But yeah, I'm super happy with them, and they're quick, which is the main thing. Alright, so it was a couple of days later now. I finished all the painting, and it was quick. It took me 3 hours to paint all the models. The first night I painted 4 of them practicing, and the second night I filmed the last one, which is what you just saw. So it's probably a little over 3 hours, but filming also makes things a little bit longer. So yeah, they're super quick, and there they are. They're looking really good. I'm really happy with them. And yeah, I'm really excited to get playing with them. I've got about 4 hours until I go and play tonight. But there's one more thing we have to do before I go and play. So let's just have a little look at that now. Now, the final thing I had to do before going out and playing the game was roll up some names of each of my mechs. There's a call sign generator in the book, and also you can, just for the start of the game, we're playing roll up weapons and things like that. And I haven't done this before for a game system yet, and it was super fun, and just had some funny names, which you're going to see in a sec, which made it more personal playing with them. So guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I'm just finishing up the editing of it now, and realised I didn't have an intro, so thought I'd just quickly record one and just talk about when I played the game. Like, I played Flames 2 weeks ago now, and it was honestly just so fun. Like, we played 2 games in one night. It was so easy to take my models to the game store. It was a super fun game. I'll flash up some photos now. We picked up the rules really easily, and now we're talking about looking into a campaign and adding kind of troops and planes and tanks to our forces. So yeah, I also played a game of Inquisitor on Tuesday, a couple of days ago. And yeah, there's a really great scene for kind of these indie and smaller games at my local game store. So I'm really enjoying exploring them. So expect more videos from this kind of world of the hobby in the future, because I'm really enjoying playing them. I think maybe we might look at more time next. I've got some other ideas as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. And sorry if the audio is bad during the voiceover. I think there's a problem with my mic and the computer, but that'll be sorted next time. But yeah, hope you guys are well, and see you in the next one. Cheers.